Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Need for Speed video. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to drift. Or at least, I'm going to try. After all, part of drifting is the feeling, and that's kind of hard to convey without actually playing the game. But regardless, I'm going to talk you through the technical stuff, and then the rest is up to you. If you guys do find this helpful, or you do enjoy this video, then a like would be super awesome, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already for more Need for Speed videos. Now, let's begin by talking about drifting as a concept. Drifting is a technique where you intentionally oversteer, which then results in loss of traction, typically in your rear wheels. But the art of drifting is being able to maintain this loss of control from your entry point to your exit. Now, there's a big difference between drifting and just kicking the back out on your car. See, if we're going to get super technical, then it's only a drift if your rear slip angle is greater than your front slip angle, and if you're doing it right, you'll typically see the front wheels pointing the opposite direction to the turn. And this right here is something you need to look out for. As you can see in the footage in the background, I'm drifting around this flower pot thing counterclockwise, or left, whilst my wheels are facing right. However, simply pointing your wheels is only part of the battle. You also need to manage your power. If you have too much power, i.e. you accelerate too much, you'll spin out. And if you don't have enough power, you'll simply straighten out and you won't be able to hold the drift. So this is where the concept of feathering comes in. See, when you drift in real life, especially if you're trying to drift in a circle like this, you need to feather the accelerator. And what I mean by that is you keep tapping it. This way you provide continual power needed to maintain the slide, but not too much so as to spin out. If you pay attention to the rev meter on the right hand side of the screen, you'll notice my revs are super high. Now yes, the game is automatic, so I'm not actually controlling my gears myself, but regardless, this high rev noise is something you want to listen for. Again, if your revs are too low, then there's simply not enough power and you'll straighten out, but feathering allows you to keep your rev needle high enough to maintain control. Obviously in game your accelerator is your trigger, so instead of your foot tapping the accelerator, you're instead using your finger to tap the trigger. The best way to describe this is imagine you're firing a burst rifle in a shooter. You can't hold down the trigger because after the first burst you need to release it and depress it again to fire the next round of bullets. So see it like that. Feathering is firing a burst gun as opposed to an automatic, which is say what you would do in like a regular race. With those two things combined, provided your car is set up to drift, then upon entering a corner you turn into the corner and you oversteer so as to initiate a slide, and at this point you then need to turn away from the corner once your car is in a slide. This is referred to as the opposite lock or the counter steer. Once your car is sliding and you're counter steering, you then need to maintain the appropriate power and you should be able to maintain the slide. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, while there is an obvious technique to the art of drifting, the most important thing is how it feels, because once you begin to feel the tipping point, you'll know when your car is about to spin out. And when you get to that point, you simply ease off the power, and then when you feel you don't have enough power, you then reapply it. This is something that will of course take time to get used to. Every racing game does feel different when drifting, and when I first jumped onto Need for Speed, I couldn't hold a slide to save my life. But after a bit of practice, it all fell into place. In fact, the place I'm at right now is where it all clicked. Just near your main garage, there's a park area with this round circular flower pot thing in the middle. It gives you plenty of room to drift around and hold the slide, and I did actually record a video where I was holding the drift for a good 5 minutes before I kind of got bored and decided to go off driving. But this is a great place to practice. Now the only thing that remains is the actual car itself. Typically, rear-wheel drive cars are the best at drifting, and that is precisely why I like the Toyota GT86 so much. It's a perfect 50-50 car, and it's not too powerful, so it's quite easy to learn with. Now when upgrading, while there are a hell of a lot of parts to choose from, if the technical aspect is a little bit confusing, you basically just want parts that improve your car. And these are typically identified by the numbers going green. This refers to an increase as opposed to a decrease, which is red. Once you've bought all the upgrade parts you can afford, you then need to tune your car. And while again there is a lot of flexibility that allows you to tune your car exactly how you like it, again if you're not 100% sure what everything does, the game also offers a simple solution. You simply push the slider at the top of the screen, all the way to the left, and you have yourself a drift car. And then once your car's ready, pair this with the information I just gave you, and you'll be well on your way to being the next Kunimitsu Takahashi. And that's it. That, my friends, is my guide on how to drift in Need for Speed. Hopefully you guys found it helpful, and thanks for watching. Take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.